Hey guys, the bot builder's back and welcome to a grand return of Request Fights Fight Night Season 2. Yes, that is right, the road to Robomania is officially among us. And well, what a show we have to, get you in back to the swing of things of Request Fights Fight Night. We have 5 pretty good matches here, and they're all quite important, especially our main event right at the end, the Ultimate Chance Championship between Endgame and Whiplash. This is a grudge match from Season 2. Whiplash got the better of Endgame, but the Ultimate Challenge Championship on the line. Can our Ultimate Challenge Champion successfully defend the championship and continue their what's currently been quite a lengthy run? But that's also not the only thing that's being defended on the line here. As well, our Tag Team Terror Champions, Team Carnage of Lord Charles Watt, will defend against the crushing spectacle of Razor and Spectre. And with 3 fights requested by you lovely lot at home, it's, well, honestly, I'll say, let's just jump straight into it. In fact, let's just stop the hesitation and let's go straight to our first fight. Storm 2. Hypnodisc. Bigger Brother. And the Core Patrols in for the CPZs, we have the Matriarch of Mayhem, Matilda, and the Drunken Moron of Mayhem, Virus. Now this match was requested by Josh Doing Things YT. He actually requested Bigger Brother, Hypnodisc and Storm 2 versus, and PP3D as well, but sadly, as you know, PP3D has retired, so it's going to be a triple threat match instead. But if a good Rambot, a good Flipper and a powerful Spinner, I still think it's going to be one chaotic fight. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1... activate. Oh, it's good to have Request Fights Fight Night back, and well, we kind of have a bit of a grudge match here, of course, as we know, Bigger Brother and Hypnodisc do have quite a lot of history here. If you remember Series 5, of course, it was Bigger Brother who beat Hypnodisc in what many thought was a major upset, a big comeback from Bigger Brother to be able to beat Hypnodisc, and they're currently flipping Hypnodisc coming over! But what on earth happened to their flipper? Their flipper has came off! I don't believe it! What on earth has happened to Bigger Brother's flipper? Of course, the team, we've seen them before compete with the Swarm. They brought out Bigger Brother, one of the older machines for this, and their flipper as well came off. Now, Bigger Brother, that shouldn't really affect them too much. They're well, drive-wise, we know they're a durable machine. In fact, if you remember Series 5, they're able to function completely fine without a flipper, but it's going to drastically affect their actual combat, and with no weapon, what can they do? And already, from their coming some good flips, this match has turned completely on its head already within the first few seconds. This is already a destructive match to kick things off, and also Hypnodisc upside down. Storm 2 getting straight in underneath Matilda, trying to push Matilda here at the minute. Bigger Brother gets slammed in by Storm 2. Storm 2 trying to flip up Hypnodisc. Now Bigger Brother to get flipped up and over. That's them done for. They're out of it, because without that flipper, there's no way they're getting back when they get flipped up and over. Storm 2 trying to deal with Bigger Brother here. Now, Bigger Brother has actually beaten Team Talk member Tornado before in real life, but then they had a flipper, and without a flipper, what on earth are they going to do? Meanwhile, Hypnodisc is feeling the brunt of Matilda's flywheel, and this is not a good place for Hypnodisc to be at all. Matilda trying to come with some good damage. Hypnodisc, they've never really had a good time in Road Wars Omega. The pullback never really was able to have the same destructive power as the actual real-life Hypnodisc, and Matilda aiming for that back armor panel! And look at that, ripping off the rear armor panel of Hypnodisc. Storm 2 now flips over Bigger Brother! And I think this is going to be it for Storm 2. Storm 2 flips over Hypnodisc, and without their back armor panel on, there's no way they can self-right. And well, Storm 2 giving basically a clean sweep of the arena. They've beaten everyone in an absolutely fantastic style. Bigger Brother upended on their backs, and well, what a brutal showing that was. And Matilda now gets to have her fun, placing them both on the drop zone. And what in earth is going to drop onto both Hypnodisc and Bigger Brother? It's a deodorant can, and Storm 2 is left victorious. Cease. Well, what a great way to get back to the swing of things of Request Fights Fight Night. Storm 2 pretty much dominated that match, but I thought Bigger Brother could have done something, and that flipper looked really good, but it just came off, really. I think that those first few attacks from Hypnodisc must have done some damage to the flipper, and then Hypnodisc got stuck with Matilda, and that is not a lady you want to be stuck with ripping off the shell. Storm 2 took advantage, flipped them both upside down, and they were both crushed by the deodorant can. Well on to Storm 2, and thank you for Jostling Things for requesting this match. Storm 2. Supernova. And the Core Patrolman for the CPZ, so he was not really able to get his teeth stuck in that last match, was he? So he brought Virus back, and we also brought along the best boy, the most destructive boy, the deadliest boy, Toxic Seahorse. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate. Also, I forgot to say, this match was requested by Typhoon Robotics, so thank you for this. Of course, this is a rematch of the final match of the Classic Era of Robot Wars. Of course, Storm 2 doing double duties, although they didn't really seem to suffer too much damage in that last match, so I think their armour is ready to take on this powerful spinner, a Supernova, trying to push Supernova into the arena wall. Supernova, though, managing to get away, trying to rev up that spinner, and trying to go for those wheels of Storm 2, and a big hit right there, but Storm 2 managing to still stay alive. Ha, 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 staying alive, staying alive. I'm so sorry for my awful singing then, and in comes Toxic Seahorse, bringing down that deadly spiked hammer. Right there, it's of course punctured holes through many a machine in the past. Storm 2 pushing Supernova into the arena wall, and again coming for another good push. And currently Supernova, they're basically struggling here. Oh, Storm 2 though gets a big hit right there by the spinner. And Supernova getting knocked up and then looked up on their side. Now, of course, the 2 times Storm 2 and Supernova fought, both were in String 7. In fact, Storm 2 was basically able to get the better of Supernova, and they're seemingly getting the better of them here. And well, Storm 2, the former leader, now of course the leader of Team Talker, of course Roadkill, but they're still the second in command. Will they start off well their Request Fight Night season off to a good start? Well, they're definitely putting up a good match against Supernova here. Storm 2, of course, they say that they're going to be looking for the Internet Championship soon. They're hoping to get that up for grabs. And Storm 2 now coming for another good push. And they're trying to flip up Supernova, they're not really able to do much here in a minute. Oh, a big hit though from that spinner though. Of course, Supernova, they are in Series 3 as a result of being, well, in the top 5 highest voted in the wild card voting of machines who didn't make it in. As a result, we thought it'd be fair to put them all in Series 3. Just as a close but no cigar kind of reward, but I think this is going to be another close but no cigar kind of thing for Supernova here. Shame too, really. It's such a good machine, but they've never really had the most success in Robot Wars Omega. Lost out in the first round of the World Championships, lost out in qualifying, but look at this! Toxic Seahorse now bringing down that deadly weapon in onto Storm 2. Storm 2 flipped up and over, Toxic Seahorse causing damage to Storm 2. And could the tide of the battle turn here? Because Toxic Seahorse is, of course, one of the most destructive house robots in Robot Wars Omega. In fact, I say it is the most destructive. Well, next to Meteor, I mean, that flywheel's definitely been on steroids recently. We saw what it did to Hypnodisc in its previous battle here. And while Supernova, speaking of destruction, Storm 2 are now upside down. Is their Shremek working, I wonder? Storm 2, they're in a lot of trouble now. And can Supernova come back? Oh, well, the Shremek definitely will not be working now. And Supernova are coming back very strongly here. And I think this match... Oh, no, it won't! Cease. Well, I was going to say, I think this match will be going to the judges, but as we just saw then, no, it won't. Supernova was able to hit Storm 2 up and out of the arena, and that is a shame. Storm 2, they had a very strong performance at the start, getting in pushes after pushes, but after they strayed too close to Toxic Seahorse, it was basically game over for them then. Flipped up and over, their Shremek, well, something went wrong, and Supernova took advantage and basically calmed down the storm, sending them out the arena, and they get a victory. And thank you to Typhoon Robotics for requesting that match, as that was a lot of fun. Cobalt. Grated Carrot Requiem. And, well, what an interesting match here we have between two powerful vertical spinners. This was requested by Hercules Ocean Going Tug. The Hercules Ocean Going Tug. Now, he also did request Barbarous for this match, but as we know, Barbarous have also retired, just like PP3D. Request fights are basically subject to change, because since, well, you guys requested them, there have been some changes to robots. As well, Great Carrot's actually good now. And talking about robots that are actually good now, Rhino. He's going to definitely gore someone here tonight. And Matilda as well, we just saw then. That spinner must be on some kind of steroids because it's been causing a hell of a lot of damage recently. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate. Now, this is a bit of a dream match for me here in Robot Wars Omega. Two really powerful vertical spinners, similar in design, because the whole idea is you're meant to go up the wedge and basically get uppercutted. And well, since Gretted Carrot has basically been on a roll as of late, getting some pretty good victories here against the likes of Zenith and such. Reaching, of course, the quarterfinals of the Internet Championship 32-Watt Cup, of course. Came close, but were beaten out by the currently still unbeaten wildcard. Of course, the current Internet Champions, of course. We'll see if they'll still be Internet Champions by next week. Of course, the Premier Robot Wars Alpha. Stay tuned for that. I'm basically plugging my stuff in this own thing, and currently, neither machine have been able to get any purchase at all here at the minute. Of course, the powerful vertical spinners are colliding! And they eventually do collide! And look at that! Look at the heights! Cobalt got then, and I think Red Carrot's going to try and come for some more damage. This might be over, because as we know, Cobalt does not have a Shreem Egg. I mean, they can self-right reduce the power of the spinner, but the spinner stopped off that collision, and they're upside down, and Grated Carrot Requiem. I think they might need to get rid of that annoying orange little carrot bit for Series 3. It's seemingly getting in the way rather than actually helping. But now they're definitely trying to cause some extra damage to Cobalt. Just stop, it's already dead. Just leave it alone, Grated Carrot. And I think Grated Carrot have gotten my memo, and they are going to leave it. And Matilda, look at this, Cobalt, they've improved the spinner. I've actually seen it, it's actually really powerful, but not as powerful as Grated Carrot. And this is semi a rematch, because of course Carbide's beaten Grated Carrot before. But I think Grated Carrot Requiem can have a bit of solace that they've finally beaten Dave Moulds and his destructive robots. And it's on the floor flipper. That was a terrible flip. You know what, Rhino? Shoot a floor flip has to send robots flying, and I think he's heard me, and you know what this means. Go! Out the arena goes Cobalt, and Grated Carrot gets another impressive victory. Cease. Well, that just shows you just the power of Grated Carrot Requiem spinner. Such a shame for Cobalt, really. I mean, as I said, they've definitely improved the spinner, but a Grated Carrot, they just proved to be lower, and in a match between, well, a spinner on vertical spinner versus vertical spinner, ground clearance is key, and Grated Carrot just had the better ground clearance, got the hit that they needed, and got the win. And Rhino definitely got the gore that we were all hoping for. Anyway, so thank you for requesting this match, Hercules the Ocean Going Tug. And now we're going to move on to our co-main event, our Tag Team Terror title match. The reigning Robot Wars Omega Tag Team Terror champions, Lord Charles Shaw and Wasp, Team Carnage. The challengers, Razor and Spectre, crushing spectacle. And well, pretty important match here, of course, for the Robot Wars Omega Tag Team Terror Championships. We have Lord Charles Shaw and Wasp, the reigning Tag Team Terror Champions, Team Carnage, and they're taking on the challengers, Spectre and Razor. Crushing Spectacle, of course, got the rights in the War of Independence, taking out Shatter and P1 to the Highway Stars to progress through. Now, of course, Lord Charles Shaw and Wasp won it at the most recent In Your House event, Worlds Collide, taking out Raptor NG and Subatomic. Crystal finally getting revenge on Razor 1905. But would he be adding any more robots to his list here? Well, only time will tell. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate. So, this is going to be a pretty solid match, I think, and of course, if you notice, Lord Charles Shaw was the first bot to come out. They pretty much carried it for the team, really, eliminating Raptor NG. But look at this by Spectre! Crushing through Lord Charles Shaw's top panel, and this is not good for them here. Spectre now, oh, and I think I know what they're doing here. A double crush. Oh, look at that! Razor's punctured right through. The old dog still has some bite left in them. Look at this. Lord Charles Shaw has suffered immense damage. They're seeded for Series 3. Lay off, lads. Come on, lay it off a bit. I'm definitely going to have to fix Lord Charles Shaw after that. Look at that hole. Right now, I think they might leave it because, to quote World of Woodrow, getting a hole from Razor is sort of like an autograph, kind of. Razor, though, proving to be the lower wedge now. Now, Crystal Carnage may have dealt with Razor 1905, but can he deal with the real Razor? Well, Lord Charles Shaw able to flip up Razor. The tag team champs are still clinging on, and they've tagged into Wasp. And Wasp is a beast of a machine, coming in some vicious spinner blows to Razor. Jesus Christ! Although Razor back on their feet, and maybe that was a mistake, because now Spectre is the next machine to come out. And Spectre, look at that, using that front wedge to deflect Wasp spinner. For Spectre, a grand finalist in Series 1. They didn't have as much success in Series 2. They will be in Series 3, though, hoping to regain some of that success. Oh, well, was that a tag? I'm not quite sure. Well, Spectre definitely viewing it as such. Coming in with a bite in onto Lord Charles Shaw, and I just end it here. They're going to try and lower Lord Charles Shaw, but look at this from Wasp. Look at this, both machines on the edge of the pit. Both machines are on the edge of, well, despair and doom and gloom, but Spectre managing to claw it back, and Lord Charles Shaw has been pitted. I don't believe it, and now Spectre now bringing down that Crusher again. Well, I mean, I'm guessing Spectre has just made the list. Well, it depends on if they will beat Wasp. Well, this looks like it's going to be a pretty lackluster run for the Tag Team Terror champions. I mean, they got to prepare for Robot Wars at Omega versus Carnage at Robomania. Well, Wasp trying to come with some more big hits here. We've got Spectre raising the claws, of course. Wasp again round up that spinner, but Spectre coming with some more good hits, basically calming the spinner down, and another good ram. And I think Wasp, is there enough room left in the pit for them? Well, if there isn't, they're definitely going to make it try. And there is Wasp down the pit, and we have our new Tag Team Terror champions. Cease. Well, Razor and Spectre, our new Tag Team Terror champions. What a showing that was. Look at Lord Charles Shaw. Look at that. A massive gaping hole. That was Razor who did that. And I know Crystal Carnage is not going to be happy. I have a feeling Razor and Spectre have put a special place on Crystal Carnage's list. Maybe he'll get revenge later on, who knows. But Spectre and Razor, well, they can't be too cocky here. They can't revel and go on vacation as a result of win the Tag Team Championships like AJ Styles and Omos. No. They got to prepare because, well, starting next episode, we're having a mega 4 corners tournament. 8 tag teams, 3 matches, and 3 4 corners matches over the next, well, 3 episodes of Request Lights Fight Night, and the winner at the end will take on Razor and Spectre in the season finale for the Tag Team Terror Championship. Can these crushers cling on? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But right now, they're on top of the tag team world. But enough about our tag team champs. Let's move on to our main event. It is now time for our main event. And this is a title match for the Ultimate Challenge Championship. First up, making their way into the ring, the reigning Ultimate Challenge Champions. Endgame! So Endgame, of course, the reigning Ultimate Challenge Champions, pulled from a major shocking Slammiversary, beating, well, the longest reigning Ultimate Challenge Champion so far, Roadkill. But Endgame are hoping to, well, beat that record of 176 days and become the longest reigning Ultimate Challenge Champion. And they currently have had quite the lengthy run. And of course, recently beating Carnage Ultimate Challenge Champions, the Artifact, in Worlds Collide to defend the championship, preventing the Artifact becoming a double champ. This machine, as we've seen, takes no prisoners. An extremely powerful vertical spinner, good low wedge, reliable Shremek, and this machine, I think, has potential to become one of the best Ultimate Challenge champions of all time. But the opponent they're fighting is a machine that they most definitely know, and I know that they don't like. And their opponents Whiplash! Hail to the king of Robot Wars Omega, the reigning series champion, seeded #1. And they're looking to add another thing to what is already quite a full trophy cabinet, filled with US championships, champion of champions, and of course the series championships. But do they have enough room for the Ultimate Challenge Championship? Well, that's the question they're asking here. Whiplash, of course, one of the more hated robots in Robot Wars Omega, but you can't deny that this machine is a dominant force, beating Rapid in the main event of the War of Independence to gain the rights to fight Endgame here. And well, this machine is most certainly a powerful machine, a good strong lifter, and this machine has even beaten Endgame here. But with higher stakes, with Endgame's Ultimate Challenge Championship on the line, will the pressure be too much for Whiplash, and will they falter at the end game of their video game? And with quite a big main event here, we had to bring in some quite tough house robots. And well, you can't get any tougher than Toxic Seahorse and Rhino. Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate. So here we go. Endgame Whiplash, the rematch to end all rematches. Well, I think so. I mean, there are plenty of other rivalries. I think actually that's safe for the main event of Robot Wars Alpha. But this is a pretty big rematch anyways. The machine who ended Endgame's run in Series 2, and it looks like it's going to end this impressive Ultimate Challenge Championship run here. Will we get a new champion? Is what I'm thinking, because Whiplash have already got an Endgame up and over though. Although Endgame self-rights, and Endgame now comes in for a hit at the side of Whiplash, and they're trying to come in for a good hit, but I think that wedge, for once, is actually getting in the way. Of course, Rhino coming in with a good little hit right here. Of course, we know that Whiplash are lower, but Endgame, they're trying to use the house robot to their advantage. Rhino coming in for the gore right here. Whiplash, of course, struggling there. They're now stuck in the arena sidewall. Endgame trying to come for a good hit right here onto Whiplash. Whiplash, they're stuck in the wall, I think. Whiplash, oh. Did you see how close they were to going down that pit then? And Whiplash, another massive hit right there by Endgame. Endgame knocks Whiplash up and over. Whiplash, of course, managing to just about self-right. Endgame coming for another big hit though. And this is Endgame, they're fighting with all their rage, they're fighting with all their fury. And I know the fans are chanting for Endgame to win this here. Endgame, of course, coming with some big hits of that powerful vertical spinner. It's one of the best vertical spinners in Robot Wars Omega, I reckon. Endgame now trying to come in for some good hits right here. And Rhino comes in for a good slam right here. Comes in for a very powerful blow. Endgame, of course, upended, but Endgame able to self-right. Endgame managing to self-right here, and now coming for another good hit right now to Whiplash. Whiplash are upended, they're on their backs. They're clinging so close to the pit. Can Endgame just finish this off? Of course, Whiplash now on their side, and they're in with Toxic Seahorse now, and you don't want to be around with him. Although Endgame, they've been dominating this match here, and they've done it! Endgame has done it! They can finally put Whiplash behind them, and Endgame's impressive run continues. Cease. Your winners and still Robot Wars Omega Ultimate Challenge Champions, Endgame. Well, the only machine we know that has beaten Endgame before, well, has been beaten by Whiplash right there and then. Endgame might be one of the most dominant machines in, well, just Robot Wars Omega history, and I think this machine is easy on the odds-on favorites to win Omega 3, Umfrivka, as some people like to call it. And well, I think this run is going to last for a very long time. We know Dan Sonki is rating at the end of the tunnel, but there are a couple of road bumps in that tunnel, and we'll see Endgame's next road bump, Prime Evil, take them on in the next episode. The winner of the Casino Battle Royale taking on Endgame for the Ultimate Challenge Championship. Who will come out on top? We'll have to wait and see for the next episode. But what we know now is that Endgame can finally put Whiplash behind them. And I think we're going to be seeing this machine and hearing this very song for a couple more weeks to come. And until next time, for Robot Wars Alpha and the next episode of Request Fight Night, the Bot Builder bouts.